Good evening. Hold on 1 second. All right. Very bizarre. No, my daughter just called me and hung up. So I called her back and I'm like, "What are you doing? Call me and hanging up?" She goes, "Oh, I forgot you had your live stream." I said, "Okay." Uh anyway, good evening everyone. How are you? All right, so first of all, okay, all the haters out there, get it out of the way. Yes, my Cowboys lost today, but we're still going to the playoffs. So I cannot win them all. So that's okay. So get it out of the way. I'm going to tell you what I can remember, and this is going back, and you guys will have to look this up because I don't remember what year it was, and it was a year the Cowboys were really, really good, good record. They were doing well, and the Bills sucked. They won 2 games, I think, the whole year. And Dallas went into Buffalo, and Dallas lost 14-3. Joe Cribbs ran for 212 yards. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. The one game where Buffalo plays well, they beat my Cowboys. And I mean, they had a horrible year. Horrible year. But, well, what are you going to do? But these things happen. It just reminded me of that. It's like, and, yeah, Staubach era. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so, JJ. It's definitely a long time ago. You could look up the game. You could probably look it up that way. And figure it when it was because the score. I'll 14-3. They lost. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? They lost to the freaking Bills because I mean the Bills were notoriously. This is before they went to 4 straight Super Bowls. I mean this is going way way back. I mean they just were horrible. So anyway, so that is that. Yes, my Cowboys lost. I'm not happy about that, but hey, it's a game, and you're not winning them all. Only one team has gone undefeated, and that was the 1972 Miami Dolphins. So you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. As long as you win more than you lose by the end of the year, then hopefully you make the playoffs, and you never know what can happen in the playoffs. So, and they're in. They already clinched a spot for the playoffs. So, but anyhow, that's how it goes. No, I knew it was going to be a bad day when they held the Bills to 3-0, and they Buffalo went to punt it, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, they get a roughing the kicker call. I'm like, oh yeah, it's not going to be their day. So yeah, if Dak gets hurt end of season, yeah, you definitely don't want that. So all right, so let's now that we've got all the digs in about my poor Cowboys, we can move on. So before we jump into anything, I would like to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent, no racism, no nastiness. And if you can't abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. All right. But yeah, I saw Zach Martin yeah, Zach, I think. And that ain't good because he's the center and he's a freaking awesome center. So that's not good at all with that one either. So yeah, it happens. Hopefully he's not hurt bad. Okay, so should we be worried, right? So that is the topic of the stream. And look at that. We're only 4 minutes into the video live stream. We're going to actually talk about the topic. What's with all these recalls, Ed, with the food? There's a lot of interesting things going on. A lot of interesting things going on. Uh, yeah, there's. I think. you know, I think with the recalls of food, I think things are done pretty shoddily at a lot of times. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on. I mean, you look at all the plants this year. I mean, it's within what year and a half, with all the fires, the mysterious fires, and all those type of things. A lot of interesting things. Egg prices are skyrocketing. Well, they were just gonna cull like a bunch of chickens, I think, weren't they? I think so. I don't remember exactly. I don't even know what is it? What's a dozen eggs cost right now? But I don't even know. But anyway, so here's what I wanted to talk about. 228 here in Central Texas. Wow. $3. Whispering Pine says $4. Mr. E says, yeah, that's crazy. Well, you look at food prices in general. You know, $6 a dozen here, seven on a bad day. Wow, our life off grid. That's crazy. 279 for JJ. England's best is $5. Wow. I don't know what the eggs are here, guys. I'm not buying eggs, obviously. I when Jimmy left and went back home, I gave him like 2 dozen eggs to take. Take these eggs with you. Actually, I had eggs tonight. I had 3 eggs today. When I got back home, I said, "Well, I'm gonna have some eggs." But all right. Should we be worried? Let's get back on topic. What do we got? 301 in the chat. We're at 89 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. Also, it makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are unsubscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, in answer to the question, what am I talking about? Should we be worried? Okay. And there has been a lot of information being put out by the government saying that there is a concern, a heightened concern of attacks on American soil. And I absolutely believe that, yes, that is a very real concern, a very real threat, and that we should be concerned about that. Because again, we've talked about this, guys. I mean, and I don't even know how many times we've talked about this. Realistically, I mean, and let's be realistic about this. A organized attack on the power grid would not take much. It would not take much to really seriously cause major, major damage to our way of life. Uh, you know, you have now there was the news is going out and saying that China's cyber army is attacking critical, infrastructure and all that in the net and all that for America, right? They confiscated like 24 IEDs at the southern border. I did see that article too, JJ. Um, I, Billy the Kid said false flag. It could be. There's you never know. You never know what's going to happen or how it's going to be happen or what is going to be allowed to happen. I guess is a right way of saying it. I mean, you look at past history. Have certain things been allowed to happen? Maybe, maybe not. And I'm not going to get into it. What I believe may have been allowed to happen because then you'll be accused of things and you get in trouble here on the channel because heaven forbid that you actually look at things and think and you say, well, that doesn't make sense. Why did something happen that way? That doesn't add up. That's not normal. That shouldn't happen that way. So, Don, sorry about your Cowboys today. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was not a was not good. They did, it happens. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But with everything that is being put out there, when the government's putting those things out there, does that mean that we're absolutely going to have an attack? It doesn't. But it should be concerning to people that there is a strong possibility that something could happen. Again, when I talked the other day and I said, keep your head on a swivel, I did that video, situational awareness. I think it's more important now than any other time. Paying attention. What you have to understand, it doesn't even necessarily have to be some organized foreign attack. Because, of course, now if you listen to, you know, the White House, what is the biggest threat? What is the biggest threat? Well, it's white nationalism and it's the white supremacist. I mean, if I had never heard a bigger crock of crap in my life, I don't even know. But that is their thing that is the biggest concern. I think we have a lot bigger concerns than white supremacists, which is a very small niche group of people. That they're not, and realistically, those type of groups are not really super organized. Like yeah, I'm just like, yeah, okay, they're the ones we need to be concerned about, right? We shouldn't be concerned about the stream of people coming across gun across or coming across the southern border. We shouldn't be concerned about them. Those people are perfectly fine, and I'm sure they all have great intentions. And again, it's not just the southern border. Nobody talks about the northern border, but that is realistically way more porous than the southern border. And different things are done as distractions. If I'm an organized group and I'm not looking to get caught, I'm not coming in through the southern border. I'm not coming in through the southern border. I'm coming in through the northern border because I'm sure it's a lot easier. No disrespect to anybody in Canada, but it'd be a lot easier to come in from up there down into the United States than it is from the southern border. So, we don't have the manpower. I don't even know what the numbers are of border agents in for the northern border. I mean, you never hear about it. They don't talk about, once in a great while, and then of course we had the explosion at the border, northern border, but that was just a car accident. It was just a car accident. Nothing to see here. Don't pay attention to that. Put it out of your mind. No concern. Cars blow up, I'm sure, all the time coming through checkpoints, high rates of speed. I'm sure it happens all the time, but nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Your government has told you that you are safe and that's nothing to see. Don't pay attention to that, right? You know, people get, I'll give a good example. If you guys remember, and I'm just going to use this as an example, there was a guy, and I believe it was in North Carolina, that yeah, the car tried to fly over the border. Right, exactly. Um, there was a guy, and I believe it was North Carolina, that was an anti-abortion guy, and he went and killed an abortion doctor. And then he was on the run. Right, he was on the run, and it was talked about that people were helping him out and watching out for him. Other people that were anti-abortion people, because he had done this thing for that movement. And the reason that I bring that up is because they eventually did catch him, of course. But was it Eric Rudolph? I don't know, maybe. But I bring that up because when people get locked in and on a view, and they will do in their mind, okay, they will justify any action, any action that they do. They can say, well, it was because I'm doing this just thing. So killing this doctor in their minds was just, and it was good because they're saving babies. But the fact that there's other doctors stepping up to take that doctor's place, that doesn't even, begin to go into their minds. But when somebody's radicalized, is the point I'm trying to make. If somebody's radicalized, like, let's see, what group of people are radicalized with their hatred for the United States? I wonder which group of people that is. Maybe from the Middle East somewhere, a group of people over there in the Middle East that maybe, who knows, it could be, that we have, you know, killed some of their loved ones with, our rockets or our drones, possibly, right? You never know. You never know. But and again, and that's not. And I see people putting Democrats and Republicans. It's both sides, guys. It's both sides. I get so tired. Oh, I know. I thought you talk. I got what you're talking about. I think I know what you mean, Mark. The radicalization. This group is good and this group is bad. Same thing. It's the same exact thing with the Democrats and the Republicans. It's the same exact thing. Our group is good, their group is bad. You need to follow us. You need to do what we want to do. So um, now they're wanting to tear down the Arlington statue. I didn't even see that one, Don. Well, I mean, how ridiculous things are. I mean, you look at. Now, I'm going to tell you what. I don't care what name you put on it. It's still Fort Bragg. It's always going to be Fort Bragg. You can call it Fort Liberty all you want. It'll never be Fort Liberty in my mind. It will always be Fort Bragg. That's just a stupidity. I had a guy today I was talking with. Good example. He had an Ohio State shirt on. He had an Ohio State hat on. And I said, just busting chops because that's who I am. I go, let me guess. Um, I said, Ohio State fan? And he started laughing. He goes, "What gave it away?" So we started talking. Well, he's originally from Ohio. He lives down here now. Um, and he said, we started talking. I said, and I said, I'm from New York. And he goes, "Oh, so you're a Yankees fan?" I said, "Die hard, die hard." And I was telling him that growing in upstate New York, I'm not a Buffalo Bills fan, that I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. He goes, "Well," he goes, "I was always, he goes, I always loved the Cleveland Indians and I still follow them." He goes, "They will never be the Guardians to me." So again, same type of premise. Like the Washington Commanders will never be the Washington Commanders. They're always going to be the Washington Redskins. I mean, it's so ridiculous that you get these groups of people that scream the loudest, and so people cave into them and they go, "Oh, we have to be politically correct. We can't do this. This is not right. We have to change this because heaven forbid that you look at a bottle of syrup and you have a black lady on the bottle of syrup. Oh, we can't have that. Oh, that's terrible." I mean, it's so stupid. It's ridiculous. But these groups of people that they feel justified, all right, in their thing, and they think, what? So here's a great question. Yeah, Land O'Lakes butter taking the Indian off of it. Does that make things better? What did that change realistically? I mean, and I'm asking this in full sincerity. What did it change that they took Aunt Jemima off of the bottle of syrup? What did it change that they took Uncle Ben off the box of rice? What did it change when they took the Indian off the Land O'Lakes butter? Yeah, nothing. It changed nothing. And it is so stupid, and it's giving in and giving in. You have people out, guys, that are so radicalized in their beliefs that whatever you look at, and I was reading an article today, and they were talking about Thomas Jefferson, and they were talking about, and I can't remember what country it was. It was a Muslim country, and it was like the 1700s, um, late 1700s, early 1800s, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on the dates of it, but our sailors were being captured and put into slavery by this Muslim group, okay, this Muslim country. And so I think it was Thomas Jefferson had said, "Hey, why are you doing this? We're not, at war with you, and we're not, we got no problems with you. Well, you're infidels. We can. That's why we do it, and we're going to continue to do it. Well, then we went over and kicked their butts. But it's just, these are things that happen. People will justify whatever they do, right? No matter what, and they will say, well, it was because we did it because it was for the greater good. Why does the United States feel, right? Why does the United States feel that it's okay to decide, right, who's the bad guy? And so we'll have a drone go in and blow up the whole house and kill everybody. It was Morocco. Yes, thank you, American Republic. You're right. It was Morocco that kept doing that. Yep. Barbary slave trade. Yep, exactly. Thank you very much. But yeah, I saw that article and I was like, it was amazing to me. But they would justified the reason why they did it. So we went in and we kicked their butts. There you go. How do you like that type of situation? So, but um, those pirates, yeah, right. Uh, it's just, it's never going to change. So if you have, in their heart they believe, they're a true believer, regardless of what it is. And it could be white supremacist, right? White supremacists, they want to get rid of all the Jews and the blacks and all the Asians and all that type of stuff. And they want to, usher in, white America or whatever. Who knows what their mindset is? I can't speak for them because I have no idea. But, and then with that, you have black hate groups just as strong that wanted to see America destroyed so that the blacks can take over. It's insanity. It's insanity. But I don't know. It's a manipulation. It's always to keep us in constant fear, fighting amongst each other. You know, it just and what the average person doesn't truly ever get, and they never will get it, guys. I'm telling you right now, they'll never get it. If we come together again as human beings, and say, hey, wait a minute, they've been screwing with us for years and years and years, getting us to fight each other over nothing, nothing. And I talk about this, guys, at the end of every one of my videos. I talk about it all the time: race, religion, and political affiliation, right? Those are the big three. Those are the big three. If I can get you to hate your neighbor because he's a different color than you, right? Or because he's a different religion than you, or because he's a different political affiliation. I mean, think about this. And I've had this happen. I've had happen to me because I was happy when Trump won the election. I had certain people on Facebook unfriended me because they were a Democrat and, they wanted Hillary Clinton to win, and, you know, they unfriended me. That's how weak minded some of these people are. And, to me, it's like, well, then you were never a friend in the first place. You were never a friend in the first place. And heaven forbid that if my opinion doesn't line up perfectly with your opinion, that, you're going to unfriend me. Well, then see ya. Bye. I don't have time for that. I really don't. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I try to always be respectful of everybody, even if I disagree with them. It just because, you know, I don't have all the answers. I don't pretend to think that I have all the answers, but it's just, I don't know. It's insanity. But that's the mindset of a lot of people now. You don't agree with me. You have a different viewpoint. Then you're out, right? I'm not. Well, dude. Listen, folks. How about that? I'll say, dude. I'm talking to one person. Dude, wait a minute. So here's a great example. A great example. So I'm on YouTube. I my audience, right? My YouTube audience, for the most part, I mean, let's be honest. For the most part, the dominant majority of the people that watch my channel are definitely more right leaning, right? That's number one. A lot of religious people, number two, right? So it generally tends to lean that way because of what I talk about, dude and dudettes. There you go. Um, because of what I talk about. So when people find out, and I've had this happen, folks, I've had this happen. When they find out, what? You're not religious? You don't believe? I'm unsubscribing. And I couldn't tell you how many times people have said, oh, you don't believe? I'm unsubscribing. What does any information, what does any information that I share on here with you guys about prepping, about being, ready, about being self-sufficient, is being as independent as you possibly can be, what does my message, any of that, have to do with about being religious or not being religious? You know what I mean? So that's, I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's the mindset, again, that weak minded people, not just religious people or anything, and that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying some people, as soon as they see that you're not on that exact same plane that they're on, then you're out. Oh, I can't listen to you. I can't listen to you because you're not a believer. It's insanity. So what do we have? 351 in the chat, guys. We got 161 thumbs up. So again, I'm going to ask you, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a lot of difference with the algorithms again. So thank you. Your opinions have not shaken my faith. I'm still here. Well, I appreciate that, Okie Forge. And generally, I'm going to tell you what, and I know a lot of people are religious, and I respect that. I respect it. If and I was just actually having this same conversation with somebody today. My views are this: whatever path you follow religiously. So when I say that, I don't care if you're a Christian, I don't care if you're a Muslim, I don't care if you're into uh, you know, um, Judaism. If you're into, I'm trying to think of the other one that's a big one, Buddhism. I don't care what path you follow. If it gives you peace of mind, then I'm happy for you. That's the bottom line. I had the same exact conversations today. If it gives you peace of mind, then I am absolutely happy for you, because that's what we all want at the end of the day. We want peace of mind. So and here's what I said to the gentleman that I was talking with today. There's 3,000 different religions out there in the world, and thank goodness, you, whoever you are, right, just happen to be born into the right one. Isn't that awesome? So like I said, to me, it's just I respect everybody's right to believe what they want to believe, as long as you respect mine to believe what I want to believe. And if you can't, well, then oh well. Viking Prepper, I just want to go to Valhalla. Me too, my friend. Me too. I want to sit in the halls of Valhalla. I have a shirt. Somebody actually had sent me that said "Ride until Valhalla," and I like that. That's an awesome shirt. So, but again, you know, should we be worried now? I honestly believe that we need to be very, very worried right now. We need to be very concerned. Uh, you know, we're going into winter, right? Weather's colder. They've pushed so hard against you having wood burning stoves. And I say they, I mean, the people in charge, our government officials. They, they've pushed against that. Oh, no, it's bad. Burning wood is bad. All this is bad. Everything is bad. Everything needs to be electric, right? Everything needs to be electric until you are completely reliant on that electrical grid, and then that electrical grid goes down. What happens then? And again, our Achilles heel, and I'll beat it till it's a dead horse. I mean, our Achilles heel is our power grid. And wintertime would be the absolute best time to have an attack on the grid, to have it go down. Think about, so I think I saw, they said, okay, in the news, 150 million Americans, right? Well, we only got 300 and what 30 million in the whole country anyway. They said 150 million Americans will be traveling over the Christmas holiday. Think about that. So people are going on, they're going on trips. Schools are closed, right, because of the, winter, for Christmas and all that. So schools are closed. So everybody's traveling. They're on the road. What would be a better time than then to have an attack? Mass confusion. People aren't home now. They're going to be scrambling trying to get home, and yeah, I'll be traveling to work. I hear you, ADK man. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere for Christmas myself. So, but last year I went to the Golden Nugget Casino and lost like 2,200. Wow, that was a nice deposit you gave them. And it's a religious holiday, yes, Dawn. And that's the other thing too. If I was a Muslim looking to cause the most damage possible, and that would be the time to do it, wouldn't it? A good Christian holiday. So, I mean, again, you have to be really careful. You should always be paying attention on a regular basis anyway. Let me put that out there. On a day-to-day basis, you should be paying attention. Oh, I got to tell you, so I want something else. I just saw this, and I was like, really, really, and which I thought this was amazing. But I'll touch base on that in just a second. But it just keep that head on a swivel this time of year, especially because this is when I believe we're the most vulnerable. We are the most vulnerable, and if we can pay attention and keep a cool head about us, whatever does happen, when it does happen, we're going to be in better shape. But with all the people in the northern states, and obviously we're getting into wintertime, if they can kill that grid and think about how many people will die in their homes, freezing to death in northern states. I mean, you freeze to death in a southern state too. It's not like it can't happen. But if you're in the north and you have no way to stay warm, and then the cold is setting in, and you're having the horrible winds and snowstorms and blizzards, and now with no power, nobody's coming to plow anything out. Uh, that movie, Leaving the People Behind, the executive producers were Obama and his wife. Yeah, full of hope. I saw that. Yep, very bizarre movie, and we discussed that in the last live stream. Very bizarre movie. Yep, but yeah, and why would they be executive producers of that movie? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But you know, at New Year's could be interesting. And speaking of the grid, remember December 31st, 1999 scare? I do remember that. Yep. Mark goes, I actually liked it and the ending. That the ending was just way bizarre. Way bizarre ending. So, but yeah, it was Y2K. Everybody was so concerned that and I remember when that one was going, and I was like, what are you freaking kidding me? I never fed into that. I just was like, so, yeah. But anyhow, what I just saw, I wanted to talk about this, and I just saw this, and I was like, really? Okay. So you have a situation where crime is up, right? I mean, would you guys agree that crime is increasing? Things are getting worse with the whole defunding the police, and the you have police officers leaving in droves because they're under such scrutiny, and and all those type of things, right? So crime is up. I just read an article, and I was like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. 'Cause like I said, I get a lot of information that comes in. And so this article, what they said in this article, it said crime isn't up. That is something that's perpetuated by the media to scare people. I'm like, what? Anybody that's got a half a brain in her head can see what the numbers are and definitely tell crime is up, especially theft. Especially, right? Especially in those states that have the catch and release program, that there's no consequences for your actions. When you can go to these retail stores, as long as you don't steal $1,000 worth of stuff, it's perfectly fine. Go ahead, sir. Have a great day. They don't stop you. So, what's the incentive, right, to stop the criminal from committing crimes when there's no punishment for that? The only thing that stops them is your own morality, your own code of ethics that you have within you yourself. A lot of people don't have one at all, folks. A lot of people don't have one at all. And so it is insanity to me. And for them in this article to blame the media, no, the media doesn't try to influence anything that any of you think. That's silly. I'm like, oh my God, the media, especially the mainstream media, is I how do I say this without let's just say allegedly, we'll do it that way. Allegedly, the mainstream news media is the biggest propagator of propaganda, right? So they're given a script, right? Allegedly, they're given a script. Here's what you're going to talk about. This is what you're going to say. You're not going to talk about this, this, and this. We're not going to discuss those things. The American public does not need to know about those things. So you're not going to discuss that. You're going to discuss what we have approved for you to discuss. Now, that is absolutely how it goes with the news. Okay. And is there a slant? Is there propaganda? Is there a push to have a certain narrative pushed out to you, Joe American public? Absolutely, there is. Absolutely, there is. So, you know, but yeah, we need some Paul Kersey justice. Yeah, it definitely would change things. If some people finally had enough, if people said I ain't putting up with this crap no more and started doing something about it, then you might see things change. But the worst part is, and I just saw, what did I see? I can't, I think it was down in New York. I think it was New York City. And a woman was being attacked on a subway. I think it was, and I don't remember exactly 100%, so I can't say, this is where it was and this is how it went down. But when I read this article, what it was, the gentleman stepped in and shot the attacker. Okay, I believe it was a rape. The guy was trying to rape the woman, and this Joe citizen stepped in, confronted, and shot the attacker, right? Guess who went to jail? Guess who went to jail? The Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan went to jail because he had a gun and blah, 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 right? So, what does that do when people see that? What they see is, and what they start to think is, don't get involved. Don't get involved. The one you're thinking of, Village Homestead, I think the Marine was the one that choked out and killed that lunatic on another uh, subway. That was a different one. Yeah, it discourages them, right? It discourages people from stepping up and helping people out. So the next time some poor woman is being raped, people will go, well, it's not my business. I'm not going to pay attention to it. So, you know, it's insanity. It's insane. And I'm going to tell you what, and I can honestly tell you, as I sit here right now, if I was out someplace and I saw a woman being raped, I absolutely would get involved. I absolutely would get involved, and I don't care. I don't care. I would not sit back and watch that happening and do nothing about it. So, that's, and people can do whatever they want. They can think whatever they want. Doesn't, I would get involved, and I'm a female. Well, it's what happened, ever happened, and you, well, and again, you look at why it is because so many people that have got involved. Um, There was another shooting recently. Okay, and this was at a convenience store, and this guy didn't get in trouble. Okay, yeah, 80K man says I'd step in a heartbeat. Yeah, same way, brother, same way. Um, this was at a convenience store, and this young man came in with a gun, was robbing the convenience store. Uh, you had a citizen that was in the store that had a gun, and I don't remember what state it was, but it was a state where he was allowed he could have a gun, and he killed the attacker. All right, he killed the robber, and his family said, well, he wasn't bothering him. Why did he even get involved? He shouldn't have shot him. He shouldn't have done that. He should have just left. And I'm like, are you? That's the mindset, not the fact that their child was a scumbag robber. That had this wasn't his first offense either. By the way, he was like 18, and this wasn't his first offense. It was in Houston, Texas. JJ said, okay, yeah, this wasn't like this was the first time this kid had ever done that. So I'm sorry, okay, I'm sorry if you've raised your child and your child does that. Now again, you can raise your kid up right and they can go down the wrong path. Okay, there that happens, but then you blame the person that stepped in and stopped your child that was doing crimes, and they should have minded their own business. I'll tell you right now, if I'm in a convenience store, as you guys know, I carry all the time. If I'm out in public, I carry all the time. I'm absolutely stepping in, and I'm absolutely going to put that individual down. You know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I know that the guy that did the shooting did not get in trouble. Okay, he did not get in trouble. But how is that the mindset of the family? That's probably why the kid was a scumbag and a criminal, because that's their mindset. I don't get it. I don't get it. So Dawn says I carry many things all the time. So yeah, but that's our society, right? I want you to think about this. What does our society teach now? What does our society teach now, like with kids? Sports. Let's go with sports. All right. Now, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. I used to coach Little League when Josh was little, and Josh is 27 years old now, right? So when Josh was little, I coached Little League. I was an assistant. I was involved the first year, then I was an assistant coach, and then for 3 years in a row, I was a head coach. All right, and we were in Greece, New York. So we had our league in Greece, New York. Well, we wanted to, make sure we had enough other people to play, so we played other towns. And I'm going to call this town out, folks, because I don't care. Doesn't make any difference. All right. So we were playing. There was Webster area. All right. So we were playing those kids out there, and Webster has more money. Okay, so you have more money involved and stuff like that. And or no, I'm sorry, no, it wasn't Webster. It was Irondequoit. It was because we were the town of Greece. This other town was the town of Irondequoit. And again, certain parts of Irondequoit, lots of money, stuff like that. Well, they didn't like to keep score because we don't do that. We don't want it to be competitive. We just want the kids to have fun. Well, part of playing sports, folks, is winning and losing, and teaching your kids to be a good sport regardless of what way it goes. Okay, when I coached my kids, I did not allow my kid, like if one of my kids struck out and they got mad and they fired their helmet or they threw their bat. No, 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 that didn't fly with me. I did not allow that. It's poor sportsmanship. Not going to happen. You struck out, try harder next time, and stuff like that. But anyway, they didn't want to keep score, which was insanity to me. And this is going back. Now we're talking, almost 20 years ago. This was the mindset of these people then. So we've had this generation of kids growing up that participation trophies. They get a participation trophy. Everything is okay. No, you don't have to, lose, and it's okay. Well, guess what, folks? When you get out into the real world, all right, and if you've grown up with that kind of coddling and that kind of babying, and not realizing that once you get out into the real world, that the real world is going to kick the crap out of you, okay? That there is no participation trophy in the real world. You sink or you swim. And that's why you're having such problems in the world today, because these kids are expecting life to be like what they're being taught. I mean, when I grew up, and it's not like I grew up a million years ago. Um, you know, we played to win, whatever it was. So, oh, yeah, egg count. Okay, yes, I know. I'm sorry. I get carried away on my things. But the problem is, we'll do egg count in just a second, guys. Give me a moment. The problem is this: if we don't prepare kids for the real world, what the real world is going to do, because the real world is going to chew them up and spit them out. Now we can try to protect them as much as we can, and that's fine, but we have to teach them that you win some, you lose some. If you get beat, you try harder next time. You don't ever give up. You don't quit. And unfortunately, a lot of these kids today, they're taught that it's okay to quit, and it doesn't help them. It just doesn't. So let's do this really quickly. Um, we got 392 in the chat. We're at 209 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so, to show support for the channel. And again, I thank you ahead of time for that. Also, it really makes a big, big difference with the algorithms. Don't do the egg count yet, guys. I have not said start yet. You guys you're forgetting how this works. So go ahead, put all your answers up there you want. None of them are counting. Okay. So when I say start, then we're gonna start. Oh, I mean, you guys have been here long enough, right? Oh, let me get it up there real quick. Well, guess what? And you could have had the right answer, and you could not have had the right answer, but none of them count until I say start, right? So anyway, again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay, starting now, what is the egg count today? And yes or no for the white hen. We'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses up there. You guys kill me. You guys absolutely kill me. Too funny. Uh, all right. If you guys had these same exact guess, is Village Homestead, which he popped in right at the right time, with three eggs, and yes for the white hen, then you are correct. So congratulations to Village Homestead. You've won absolutely nothing, but you are happy. So there you go. God, you guys are crazy. Oh my God, it's too funny. I got to tell you guys, and the reason that I'm laughing is this, okay? And this is why I'm laughing. I had somebody say to me, follows the channel, and I'm having a conversation with them, and they're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, what? They go, yes, I have won nothing, and I'm happy. See, village, I know, say it like I said. Um, and they were like, I don't get it. And I'm like, get what? And they're like, what's with the egg count thing? I'm like, what is why is that such a big thing? I'm like, dude, I said, I have no idea. It kind of took a life of its own, it really has. And it's just, it's one of the things. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun to guess how many eggs and did the white hen lay, or, and if like up in New York, it was thick neck. Yeah, it's a competition. Yeah, and it's just, but it's a good-hearted competition, and it's a lot of fun, and you get bragging rights. Hey, I won one of the egg counts. So yeah, it's just, but it was like the person was like, I don't understand. Like, but uh, so anyway, that's kind of why I was laughing, because it's like everybody's trying to jump the gun to be first. Let me get my guess. Let me get my guess in. And I'm like, you guys gotta relax. Oh God. All right. So That is that. But let's go back to what we were talking about. You think about that. We just had one day here recently where we had 11,000, and again, remember this, okay? 11,000 that they got at the southern border, that they stopped and they got 11,000. How many got through that they didn't get, right? And even when they catch them, they're just giving them a court appearance, and yeah, go ahead. Now that you've crossed the border and you're in here in America, go ahead. You know, I don't get that either. If you get caught, send them right back. You know, send them right back. They're not from here. We don't. They don't have any rights here. You know, but they know what to say because they've been coached ahead of time, right? They're seeking political asylum or all this type of stuff. Listen, I realize that America is the land of opportunity, and if you work hard, realistically, you can do a whole lot of things here. I mean, I'm going to tell you what, the people that I have probably the most respect for that come here, foreigners that come here, you will have the Asian community will come here, and let's say they open up a Chinese restaurant, right? So they open up a restaurant and they get as many of their family members here as they can, and they'll all stay in the same house, folks. They'll stay in the same house, and they'll work 16 hours a day, and they'll make that restaurant successful, and they'll pay off the restaurant and they'll pay off the house because they're pooling their money together. And then guess what they do? Then they buy the next house, and that's, to me, is brilliant. That's how you win. But we don't do that. Americans don't do that. We won't, come together and work together. I mean, you look at, and I'm gonna use here as a good example, right? I have a group of people. We get together once a month. We work on different things. We're working on making things better. This is our bug out location. So when things go sideways, they're all coming here. And, people cannot understand how, well, how is it that this group of people can come together, work together from all different states, right? All different backgrounds, work together, and make it work. How does that even possible? Because if you have that common interest and you have an idea and you have a dream and what you want to do and you want to be safe and you feel like something is going to happen, why wouldn't you? So you know what I mean. That's what I don't understand why people can't understand why something like what we're doing here, why it can't work. Yeah, they all get 5,000 coming over. I heard that too, that they're giving a $5,000 gift card. Yeah, that's you know, yeah, like-minded in many regards. Exactly. But the reality is, if you put people together and you have a common interest and you want that to be successful, it can be very, very successful if you're willing to work together. And that's honestly, folks, I'll tell you, that's the biggest key right there is working together, pulling your weight, if you will. Okay. Uh, you know, I'll tell you one of the things that, excuse me, I'll tell you one of the things that I've told people, and this is straight up, and this is not BS or anything else. I said, when the time comes, we're not running a charity case here. Nobody's coming here and sitting on their butts and thinking they're just going to sit here and eat and not do nothing. If you don't work, you don't eat. Now, what does that mean? What does that entail? Well, obviously, we have older members of the group. They're not going to be expected to go out and do all kinds of physical labor and stuff like that because that's not realistic, right? But those folks, right, they can, help with meal preparation. They can keep fires going. They can be sitting on comms, you know, listening and paying attention that way. Where just as important and it's for the overall good of the group, but they don't have to be out there doing the hard labor and the physical stuff that's going to need to be done. They don't have to worry about doing that part of it. So that's just you know knowing what the expectations are, being realistic with people, But nobody would be coming. I'll tell you right now, nobody's coming down here and sitting back in a rocking chair and just sitting there and do absolutely nothing and think that they're going to get fed every day, because you're not. You know, so that's you. You know, you do what you got to do. So, uh, oh, Larry had a question. Larry, give me the question again. I didn't see it. So it says, great question, Larry. I didn't see the question. Again, guys, if you want something to stand out for me, do all cap locks. What was the question that Larry had? I'm curious now. You want to throw that back up there again? What if you have an accidental collapse with all these preps, with all the preps in it? Oh, I say what you're talking about, Larry. Well, that okay. Again, just to be right 100% with everything, not all the preps will be in one location. And I know you mean in the bunker, right? All of our preps will not. You do not put all your eggs in one basket. So a good example of that, I'll give you a good example right now. Okay, um, I have preps in the shipping container. I have preps in the little blue house. I have preps in the wolf's lair. I have preps in the battery room. I have preps in the camper. So if one of those locations, right, something happens in one of those locations, I still have other preps elsewhere. Now we do plan on putting a lot of preps underground, absolutely. Um, you know, yeah, just make sure that the shovels are not in the bunker. I mean, you could always get back to them if there was some kind of a collapse, but hopefully, Larry, and that is a good question. So thank you. But hopefully, we'll have prepared that enough and have enough support that there wouldn't be a collapse. You know, but it could happen. Though anything can happen. You just never know. Older members can handle guard duty. Yeah, it depends. I mean, that all really depends. I would rather have them be on comms, because you're going to have people out on watch, but you need to have somebody up listening on comms as well. So protect Thickneck at all costs. Yeah, she's getting up there now. Thickneck is an older bird now. She's not a young chicken anymore. Becky just lost one of the chickens there. When I was in New York, one of them just died, and she said another one is looking pretty rough now. And I said, "Was one of the red chickens?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, They were old chickens. I have no idea how old those chickens were." She goes, "Yeah, we're gonna get new chickens in next year." She said, and I said, "Okay." I guess what they're planning on doing. You can buy chickens that are full grown already. It's gonna cost more, but that's what they're gonna do. And she goes, "I don't want to feed them for 6 months and not have them lay any eggs." She goes, "I want them laying eggs right from the beginning." And I said, "Well, that's your call. I mean, that's her thing. She likes the chickens too." So, um, I lost an 8-year-old hen yesterday. It happens. I mean, their life expectancy is not, you know, it's not going to be. My thing is this: as long as I know, like with the chickens, if they have a good life and I took care of them and they provided me with eggs and and entertainment and enjoyment, and I get enjoyment out of the chickens, then it's all good. And I'm going to let them live a long life. And if they stop laying eggs, oh well. I'm still going to take care of them. That's just the way. That's just the way I feel about it. So, but going back, let's get back a little bit on topic. Pay attention moving forward the rest of this year. And I'm not saying, oh my God, the sky is falling. Something is going to happen. I'm not saying that. I hope nothing. Again, I will always hope that nothing happens. But the reality is something will eventually happen, unfortunately. And, it's usually soft targets that are going to be targeted. Like I said, our infrastructure, our power grid is an absolutely soft target. So pay attention, be ready. You know what I mean? So, Yeah, the powers that be will make sure of that, Ed. Yeah. Water supply too, absolutely. You know, okay, I'll give you an example. Rochester, New York, and I lived in Rochester for many years, and they had the reservoir was up on top of this hill, and it had a fence around it. Right, I could have very easily have climbed that fence anytime I had wanted to. So, could somebody climb that fence, put something in the water? They absolutely could. So you really got to pay attention. You need to be as careful as you possibly can be because we just never know. All right, I'm the powers that be on here are letting me know that it's time for shout outs. So we're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. Really good channel, nice people, growing giant vegetables. Definitely give them a shout out. You have Icky Can up in Canada, another guy living off grid doing his thing up there. Also, you have let's see, we have Angry Prepper down in New York City with Jason. Is 80K Man. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. You have Bush Radical Girl in the Woods, husband wife team. Definitely good people there. Kyle's Cabin up in Minnesota. Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up there. Bjorn Hansen, Corporal's Corner. You have, let's see, there is Doug and Stacy's another one. Gray Man Prepping, Magic Prepper in North Dakota, Alaska Prepper, which is Rudy, good guy. There's Alaska Granny, Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is Prep Rebel. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. You have Green Greg's is another one. Ryan Hall, y'all, with the weather. Ryan is very passionate about the weather. Real good guy. You got Truly Tara doing her makeup videos. You have, let's see, there is Camping with Steve, Steve Wallace, doing stealth camping. There is Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest what's going on with Yellowstone. There's Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He gives you the information, lets you decide what you want to do with it. There's Suspicious Observer. You have, let's see, what was another one? I'm going blank here now. Of course, now I'm starting to go blank. Uh, Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's a good guy. A lot of good information on his channel as well. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have, trying to think here. Uh, I said Ryan Hall already, but at a meeting with people next week that have created a group, I'm hoping to join. That's cool, Sean. Good. That's very good, man. Townsend's is another one, real good one as well, showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. Sean James with the Sean James channel and Myself Reliance. Two different channels, same guy. Definitely good information on his channel as well. So definitely check him out as well. I'm pretty sure I'm trying to see if I'm anybody that I haven't said yet. I did say, did I say Deep South Homestead? I may have. I don't know. Wrangle Star is another guy that I always give a shout out to. I like Cody. I like his channel, Boss of the Swamp. Yep. There's another one. Master Builder there as well. Very interesting to watch. Bizariza Jizza doing the Carrington Chronicles as well. So a lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. I do believe the Needy Homesteader. Yep, there's another one. Thank you. I really got to find that book, guys. I haven't had the time to really hunt for it, but I'm gonna have to because this is driving me nuts not having all this stuff. Little House Off Gritty is another one. Yep, they're down in Tennessee as well. I say East Tennessee Preparedness. I may have said that. New York City Prepper. So, but anyway, a lot of good information, a lot of good channels. I do believe that we should be supporting each other. I think that that's important that we do so. It really is a good thing. So, all right. So that's going to be it for the shout outs for today. And we will leave that at that. But like I said, again, we should be supporting each other. I think it's important that we do so. So, Anyway, we're at 308 in the chat. We're at 266. So should we go for 300? We're like 30, 33 away now. 33 away. Let's see if we can hit 300. I know we got like 15 minutes and I got to go throwing these numbers up, right? So let's see if we can hit 300 thumbs up, guys. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel. Like I said, again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, you know, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I went blank for a second. I'm sorry. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So thank you. Oh, it's funny. Every Dallas Cowboys lost since '96, but the reality is this, folks. We have to always pay attention. We should be hyper vigilant, especially certain times of the year that something may happen. Watch out for the ones that you love and you care about. Take care of them. Make sure that they're safe. You know, and be as prepared as you can be. I mean, that's the smartest thing that you could possibly do is be as prepared as you can be, because we just never knew. We never know. You know what I mean? We just never know. And so we're at 275. We need 25 more thumbs up, guys. 25 more to hit us. Well, now we're down to 23. 23 to go to hit 300. Let's see if we can hit that number. Things will happen. People will do evil things. That's never going to change. We know that. I think a lot of things, to be honest with you, that we never hear about because the government doesn't want you to know how close it came to having something really, really bad happen. So I think sometimes things are, beat down by the government, and you'll never ever hear about it. So so what are we at 280? So we need 20 more now, guys. 20 more thumbs up. Got to hit that goal just for because why not, right? Why not? Hey Ed, how did the new path come out by Ravens? I put that on video. It came out, actually looks really good. I got to tell you, I saw a comment and I just laughed and I laughed and I just maybe the person's a little OCD. I don't know. And he said to me, he goes, even Fox News is interviewing preppers now. Ed. Yeah, there's definitely a push for that more, for preppers more now. And now we're not so crazy, I guess, after all. But anyway, so this person said to me, they go, your gravel is uneven. I'm like, okay. I was like, wow. That's what you come up with. That's your comment. Well, the property's not flat, so what can I tell you? It's going to be uneven. So I just thought that was hilarious. Like I said, so just because I don't always reply to all the comments, and I try to apply here and there. I have lots of preps and 30 plus years of teaching self defense and unarmed combat. Pretty proficient with pew pew too. There's nothing wrong with that, Sean. Thank you very much for the donation. Very much appreciated. And thank you for the statement. And yeah, self defense is a good thing to have. Absolutely. You should be able to defend yourself in close quarters if it gets to that. Hopefully, that's not ever going to be the case. But you never know what's going to, like I said, you never know. You never know what situations you're going to be in. And I've talked about that too in the past. You're going to end up, well, let me rephrase this, okay? If you are an adult male, okay, if you are an adult male at some point in your life, you may find yourself in a situation where you have to, you know, make a decision to defend yourself or to run. And a lot of times you can't run. You really can't. You're not in a situation where you can get away. I would highly always try to recommend, if you can leave a situation, and it's tough for people to do that because it's pride, right? Your pride is hurt. But if you can walk away from a situation and do that, I would highly recommend that every time. But sometimes you can't, and you got to know what you're doing. So, like Sean there, saying he has self-defense skills. That's a good thing to have because you have more confidence in a situation that you're able to handle a situation. So, what are your views on Wyoming for buying property like you're doing at? Like I said, if it depends on where you're at in your location. If you're in an area, you got to find the best location for you and your group in that location. You know, uh, Again, I picked West Virginia for a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons, high elevation was absolutely one of them. Controlling the high ground is very, very important from a strategic, position. And sparsely populated was another reason. I really, really liked West Virginia. Uh, you know, the accessibility is not there. So always thought that that was a great thing as well. So there was a lot of reasons why I picked West Virginia. So, but if you're out there, find the best spot that you can possibly get out there. If you can have water on it, that makes a big difference. You know, and in your weather patterns. What's the weather going to be like? How difficult is it going to be, and prepare accordingly. So those are all things that you have to take into consideration. So we are at 286 on the thumbs up. So we need 14 more thumbs up, guys. 14 more to hit our goal of 300. So if we can do that, that would be awesome. So, all right, let's do this. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? So we got Rhonda in Dayton, Ohio, Omaha, Nebraska with Larry, Franklin County, Ohio, the UP of Michigan with Dawn, Central Iowa with Robert. Let's see, BC, Canada with Janet, Hendersonville, North Carolina with Karen, Fort Worth, Texas with Sonia, Inverness, Florida with Clyde is in the house, BC, Canada with Emil. Let's see, Missouri, Troutman, North Carolina. We have Nebraska, Kansas City, Missouri, Central Virginia with Janet, Orlando, Florida with Tina, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada with Joyce. If I could, the beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsylvania Granny, Central New York with Village Homestead. We got Nebraska, Kearney, Nebraska with DJ. Let's see, Morning Light in West Virginia. Johnny in Texas, Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster, Waterloo, New York with Sharon, Columbus, Ohio with Julie, Sean the Englishman in Chatham, Ontario, Canada, West Virginia with Jack, Bath area of UK in England. Glad you stayed up late with us. Thanks for being here. We have Black Mountain, Northwest Georgia. We have Bowie, Arizona with John. Twin Falls, Idaho. Northwest Alabama with Danny. The Mojave Desert in Southern California with Dave. West Central Ohio with Dale. Let's see. I'm just a harmless old man, allegedly. Hey, old mud, how you doing tonight? We have Hollywood, Florida with Donna. East Central Illinois with Ranger. Uh, Camp Corona, upstate New York. Very nice. But again, guys, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network. Messenburg, Pennsylvania with Mark, the allegedly the owner of the Deer Blind. We got Victoria in South Carolina. So a lot of, like I said, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that can truly make a difference. We can make a difference now, trying to wake people up, trying to help people. Also, we can make a huge difference afterwards because we're going to be the ones that are going to be able to teach people what they're going to need to know to survive. So, yeah, Mark, no clue what you're talking about. No, no, not at all. So, but again, prep, prep, prep. Don't stop prepping. Keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to the people around you. Uh, you know, Especially you think about. So here's what is everybody doing right now, right? Christmas is coming up. So a lot of people, they're out, they're shopping, they're getting stuff, they're getting those last minute deals, and the retailers know that you're looking for the deals. We got Brenda in New Hampshire. They know you're looking for the deals, so they're putting out these awesome deals to get you to come to the stores to spend your money and do all that, right? So that's what's happening all over the place right now too. So there's a lot of people out there. So if you're out there amongst them, again, pay attention to your surroundings. There's also a lot of thieves out there as well. There's muggings in parking lots. Pay attention to who's around you, what's going on. So, but just be smart. Just be smart, and be safe. Think about like, and it's always amazed me. Like, so you have Christmas, and then what happens right after Christmas? Then everybody's in the stores returning stuff that they don't want. I always made it easy. Once the kids got to a certain age, I just gave them cash. I just gave them cash because I said, you know what? I remembered being a kid and getting those presents and opening up something and going, I don't want this. you know, give me the money, man. I had an uncle who always did that. Always did. That. Always gave us like $20. It was like that was the best because then we could take that and we could go out and get what we wanted. So, you know, and then of course you had, if you guys remember, right? If you guys remember, because I remember every year, what did you get from Santa? You got new socks and new underwear. And I used to be like, what? Why is Santa sending us new socks and underwear? Well, it was actually mom and dad, making sure that you had new socks and new underwear. So very, very funny. Certain you think about certain things and it brings back those memories. It's pretty interesting. So all right. So anyway, guys, what are you at? 299. We need one more thumbs up to hit that 300, guys. One more thumbs up to hit 300. I know you guys are seeing 300. I am not. I see 299. So if you haven't done so yet, again, let's pop that over to that 300, and that would be awesome. So thank you ahead of time. Uh, and just so you know, too, I will be next Sunday, Christmas Eve. I will be live streaming Christmas Eve. So if you hopefully are at your destinations that you want to be Christmas Eve, um, you know, come check us out. We'll be here. I'll be live streaming. So, you know, but anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Very much appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. And, you're very much appreciated in what you do, keeping this, making sure that we have good chats here. I want to also thank all you guys for being here, supporting the channel. Yeah, I'm seeing 304 now. So we got through it. That's awesome. Uh, Again, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, being here. I enjoy these chats. Hopefully, it wakes people up a little bit. That would be great. Makes maybe something I say clicks. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But hopefully we're helping people, and that's the goal. The more self-reliant you are, the less of a victim you are. So that's important. So remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. I wish people could figure that one out, because if we could ever figure that one out and stop letting them manipulate us, and I say them, the powers that be, whoever's really running things, they use race, religion, political affiliation to keep you fighting amongst each other, because then you will never focus on the real problem, which is big business and the government. They are not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. If they can keep you fighting over the scraps, you're never going to fight over the big chair. So, also remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that you care about every single day how you feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to accomplish, whatever you are trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. Uh, you know, Set realistic goals. and then set about to making them happen. That's the best way to do it. And that's it, guys. All right. So be safe. Stay away from negativity. Stay away from negative people. Your life will be better for it. Because all they want to do is bring you down because their life sucks and they want yours to suck too. Be good. I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.